Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So in this video I'll be taking a look at the 2022 model of the Renault Koleos, and I'll explain everything about the exterior, the interior, maybe the driving impressions as well, and at the end of the video I'll tell you my opinions on it. So do stay tuned till the end. And before we go ahead and take a look at the Koleos, I just wanted to give a big thanks to Gulf Advantage Automobiles, who are the dealers for Renault here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for allowing me to come here and make the video with the Koleos. So a big thanks to them. And if you're watching this video from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I just wanted to give you an information that currently, since the month of Ramadan is going on, there are quite a lot of offers here in the Renault showroom. So you can come here and take a look at all their offers that they have. So do check them out. And if you're new to the channel, guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Koleos. Alright guys, so here it is, the 2022 model of the Renault Koleos. And for those who do not know, the Renault Koleos is based on the Nissan X-Trail, or you can say that they share the same platform. Even though they don't look similar, the underpinnings of both the cars are similar. And now let's talk about the competitors of this car. The Renault Koleos competes with the Toyota RAV4, the Hyundai Tucson, the Kia Sportage, the Nissan X-Trail again, then I think so even the Mitsubishi Outlander. So those are the kind of cars that the Renault Koleos competes with. So it's basically a mid-size SUV that Renault have designed. So let's talk about the trims that we get here in Saudi Arabia. We have three trims. One is called the PE, then we have the SE, and then we have the LE. This model that we have here is the full option LE with the four-wheel drive system. And I just wanted to give you a quick overview of all the features that this car has. So I'll just slowly go through all these features over here and you can take a look. So here are all the dimensions with the body type, max power. Then here are the safety features. You have the visibility and lighting features, your comfort and technology features, your seats, and then this is the styles, and you have your options as well. Overall, with all the options on this car, the price comes to 126,835 riyals. I'll convert it into dollars or euros for you guys. And also down below you can see the fuel economy of this car. It's since it has a 4-cylinder 2.5 liter engine, the fuel economy is pretty good at 13.9 kilometer per liter, which comes out to excellent right over here. So now that all is out of the way, let's talk about the design. And for the 22 model here, the Koleos remains largely unchanged. The main changes that Renault have done are mainly like small details, like in the headlights over here. As you can see, instead of the projector LED headlamps, you have these reflector styles, which looks really good by the way. And you have your C-shaped DRL, as you can see, with the indicator right at the bottom over here. Then this is how it looks from the front with the headlights turned on. It doesn't show up because there is a lot of sunlight coming into the showroom, but it does look really good. Then here's the grille. You have no change over here. You have the used Renault badge with your chrome slats right over here along with the piano black. This is actually the older Renault logo. The new logo looks like this, and it will most probably come on the Koleos when they fully update it or change the model, since this is just a facelift. Then down below we can see we have LED fog lamps with some nice chrome detailing around it, and you do have your parking sensors, and you have some openings for your air intake here as well. Then up top on the hood you can see you do have some nice creases all around, and it makes the car look pretty nice and muscular from the front. And now let's move on to the side. So this is the side design or the side profile of the Koleos, and again it is pretty much unchanged. The only changes that Renault have done are at the front headlights and at the tail lights, but other than that everything else remains similar. So coming to this side over here, you can see how this chrome line, which starts from this LED DRL, goes all the way across into the door and turns around and joins over here. You do have a bit of a fake vent, and you have another chrome strip in the middle, but I think it's a pretty nice and unique design. Most of the SUVs in its class or the mid-size SUV class does not have a design feature like this. So because of that, it does stand out and it looks good as well. Then coming down over here, we'll take a look at the wheels. So at the arches as well, you do have some black plastic over here for protection, but here you can see this particular model has the optional 19-inch wheels. Usually the LE model comes with 18-inch wheels, but this one has the optional 19s. It's a 225 section tire with a 55 series sidewall and the 19-inch rim. The design of the rim does look pretty good, and you do have a pretty good size of brakes at the back as well. Then here are your side mirrors with your indicators integrated inside over here. Then down below you do have some more plastic cladding with a chrome strip going all along over here. Then you have the window surrounds in chrome as well, and your door handles are in chrome as well. You do have a keyless entry option with the LE model that is over here, so the full option model, and the rear tire is also the same size as in the front, so no difference over there. Now moving on to the rear, you can see the main change that Renault have done over here are to the internals of the tail lights. So the previous tail lights used to look like this, and this is how this tail light looks, and I think I do like the design of this tail light a lot better. The internals do look really good, and the LED inside might be flickering due to the frame rate of the camera, but it does look pretty good when it's stationary. Then like I told you, this has the 4-wheel drive option, so you have your 4-wheel drive badge, you have your Koleos written in the middle with your Renault badge, you have your windscreen wiper along with a pretty good looking rear spoiler, and you have some black plastic over here as well. Then on the lower bumper itself, you do have a sort of fake exhaust design. It's meant to mimic an exhaust because you can just take a look over here, but you do have black plastic inside. I hope the Renault had an option for blacking that out. It would have looked a lot better to me. And by the way, in Australia you do get a black edition as well, but I think they don't remove the chrome surrounds on that as well. Then you have a grey skid plate, and that's it. So overall the design of the Renault Koleos is really smart, and it does look really good when compared to its rivals like the Toyota RAV4, the Hyundai Tucson, and the Nissan X-Trail as well. And I think I do prefer the design of the Renault over those. And now that we're done with the exterior, let's take a look at the boot space. So to open the boot, you do have a button in the interior. You can also open the boot via the key fob, or you have a button over here as well. So we'll just use the button. So it's an electrically operated boot. So the space does look pretty good, and you have 500 liters of space behind the second row of seats, and you do have some nice storage areas all around. You can see you have some tethering points. You have some side storage here along with the 12-volt socket. You do have some underfloor storage, it looks like, but no. I think below this you have the spare tire as well, so that's why there is no underfloor storage. And you do have the latch to fold down the rear seats by pulling this. So if you pull this, the rear seats should fold down, and folding down both the rear seats will give you 1707 liters of space, which is almost 60 cubic feet, so pretty impressive. And I think most of its rivals are around the 500 and 550 liter mark, so the Koleos is most likely in the middle of all of its competitors in terms of boot space. And you do have a pretty nice parcel shelf as well for privacy. So that's all in the boot space, and now let's take a look at the engine. Alright guys, so here it is, the engine bay of the Renault Koleos, and this is the only engine that the Renault Koleo comes with. You don't have any other engine option, as in Saudi Arabia we only get this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It is a naturally aspirated unit, so it produces 170 horsepower with 233 Newton meters of torque, which is 172 pound-feet. It's not class leading, but it's not exactly underpowered as well. It's more than enough for driving around in the city and doing occasional highway journeys as well. The engine is mated to an Xtronic CVT, so you don't have any torque converter or dual clutch automatics over here. You have the CVT, and the vehicle, since this is the 4-wheel drive model, it weighs 1607 kilos or 1.6 tons, and that is like 3500 pounds. So not exactly very heavy as well, and it's on par with its competition. So altogether this package moves this Koleos from 0 to 100 in 9.1 second, which is pretty impressive. And you have top speed of 116 miles per hour or 187 kilometers per hour. And by the way, all the figures that I'm telling you are taken directly from the Renault website. That is where I have all my information about the Koleos. So that's all in the engine bay, and now let's move on to the interior. Before we move on to the interior, I just want to say, if you're enjoying the video so far guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on a notification so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload new videos. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. By the way, before we go ahead and talk about the interior, I just wanted to show you this paint. So it's a pearlescent white. I hope it just shows up properly. But you do have a pretty nice shine to it, and the paint does look really good, especially this white color. But you do have a lot of other paint options as well, and these are all of them. So those were the paint options, and now let's take a look at the door trim. So here's how the door trim looks all across over here. So up top you do have some nice soft touch materials, and then here you can see we have this sort of aluminum and black plastic trim with silver inserts in it, and the ambient lighting is here as well. I hope I can just show it to you clearly. Since there is a lot of light in the showroom, it doesn't show up properly, but you do have the ambient lighting hidden over here, and it goes all the way to the back. Then you do have your door handles along with your locking system. Then all that soft touch materials continues all the way till the end over here, and then you come to your leather. So this particular model has this brown leather interior, but you can get a beige and a black Napa leather option as well, but this brown leather is really nice and soft. You do have some contrast stitching going on, and one more thing that Renault have updated for the facelift over here is they have changed the switch gear for the window controls, and before they used to look like this, but now they look like this, and I think this design is a lot better. You do have a small storage pocket over here, and these are your side mirror controls as well. I think they are folding mirrors. Yep, so you do have folding mirrors as well, so pretty nice. Then coming down, you do have a decent amount of door storage along with the Bose speakers, and then moving on to the side, you have your Koleos written on the sill plates, and these are how the seats look, which are pretty good. By the way, if you go for the Napa leather, which I told you about, which is in beige and black, you do get some diamond quilting all around over here, and they look like this. And these seats are electrically operated with your lumbar adjustment here as well. You do have some controls over here right beside the steering wheel, so I'll just show that to you. So since this car has 4-wheel drive, you do have the option for locking it or being in 2-wheel drive mode or auto mode. Then here you have your headlight level adjustment. This is to open your tailgate. Then this is for your hill descent control, and you have your traction control here as well. And down below you have your latch to open the hood and to open your fuel gate, and that's how your pedals look. And this is the carpet, which is pretty good quality as well. So now that we're done with the door trim, let's take a seat inside and I'll show you around the interior. Okay, so here we are in the interior of the Renault Koleos, and let's talk about the dashboard quality first. So the dashboard quality up top is really nice and soft. You do have soft touch material all the way over there. Then you have that same black plastic trim that like on the doors, and you do have that same aluminum surround all around it with silver inserts. And this particular model has this 8.7-inch R-Connect 2 system, which is a portrait style rather than a landscape style. So just like in the Tesla or the Mustang Mach-E, you have this style of display for your infotainment. Then coming to the steering wheel and the digital driver's display, you only have a small digital driver's display right in the middle with the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge being analog. Then behind the steering wheel, you do have your light controls and the indicator controls as well. Then here you have your windshield wipers. And coming to the steering wheel design, you have a sort of flat bottom design, and you do have some controls on the steering wheel itself. So this R and O, by the way, I tried to find out what they mean, but I still don't know. But they are cruise control settings, and this part over here controls the digital driver's display. So I'll show that to you in a bit. And behind the steering wheel, you do have some more controls. So these are basically your controls for your radio and media. So you have your volume controls, your source audio, and mode for your let me just show it to you. So when I click mode over here, it goes to the different radio stations that you have, and you can toggle through them through a scroll wheel at the back. You can change to whatever radio channel you want. So that's all the controls around the steering wheel. This part of the steering wheel controls the digital driver's display in the middle, and you have your toggle over here to go through different information. So currently it was showing you average speed, then this is your distance, your range, then you have your current fuel efficiency, then average fuel efficiency, and your odometer. And messages if you have your phone connected, by the way. And you have your tire pressure monitoring, and back to your average speed. And you do have some more controls as well, and you can toggle through them using this button over here. So you can see we have currently it's showing your compass, but you can take a look at your I think it looks like a powertrain performance. So currently 100% of the power is going to be sent to the front wheels since the car is started up. Then you do have a blank page. Then you have your it looks like navigation. Then this is for your radio and back to your compass. So those are all the functions you have. You don't have as much customizability or functionality as you would get in a full digital display. So it is limited by that. But hopefully Renault will introduce the full digital driver's display when they fully update the Koleos for a new generation. So that was all there is to show over here. One more thing though, you can change the styles of the main digital driver's display, and to do that you can just click this button on the infotainment, and then you can go into instrument panel, and you do have 4 styles to choose from. So currently this is set to style 1. Then you can choose style 2, and it changes to the display like this. And currently you can see it's showing horsepower and Newton meter as well, so you can toggle through different settings in that also. Then you have your style 3, which is something of a more eco-conscious display, so to show you how to drive more economically. And then you have a style 4, which shows you your speedometer right across. But I do personally like the style 1, which shows you the tachometer with the speed in the middle, and I think this is the best looking style as well. By the way, the background color that you're seeing, which is in blue right now, you can change it to all the different colors that you want. That corresponds with the ambient lighting as well. So since the ambient light is blue, the background of those displays are blue as well. I'll show you how the display color changes when we take a look at the infotainment display right now. So here's your 8.7-inch display, or R-Connect 2 display. So this is your default display or the home page of the infotainment screen, and currently it's set to its clock. It does have different themes to it. You do have your names and stuff, and you can match your seat profile to it. So basically, if you are driving, you can set your driver profile to name 1, and you can adjust the seat height position according to that. And if someone shorter than you is also using the car, they can set their profile to name 2, and when they select that, the car will adjust the seat position according to them. So that is a pretty nice feature. Then you can swipe across, and then you have your navigation, your radio. Then again you can swipe across. So this is your eco driving mode and your blank page as well. So you have a customizing option, so you can add whatever tiles that you want, and you can do that. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Then you do have a lot of menu options, so navigation, multimedia, phone, apps. Then you have some more vehicle settings. In that you can take a look at the ambient lighting. So currently it is set to blue. You can change it to green, and then you can see the display changes to green. You have your ambient lighting in green over here. You can change it to red. You have your blue, then you have your purple, or you can go for a yellow as well. I personally do like the blue color, and I think it suits the interior a lot better, so that is my preference. Then you have your driving assistance, parking assistance as well, so it will help you to park the car inside a given space if the sensors think that the car can fit in it. Then here's your rear view camera, by the way. So that's how it looks with your guidelines all around it. You can adjust how the guidelines you want, you can do all that stuff, but this is how the rear camera looks. You can also go through image settings, contrast, color, brightness. You have all of that customizability in this. Then you can check your tire pressures, and you have your user settings or programming engine start, and you do have system settings as well. So in that you have your home pages. You can control your central display, the brightness, volume, language, all that stuff. Then you have your keyboard, suggestion bar, voice commands, smartphone integration, all that stuff. That's all about the infotainment, and it's not the best in the class, but I think it is usable enough that you won't have any problems on a day-to-day basis with it. Also on the side you have your shortcut buttons. So this is to switch off or switch on the screen, your volume controls, home button. So this is the climate control setting, and you can turn it on and off like this, and you can change the fan speed like that. It's all of that is controlled over here. You can lower the temperature via these dials over here, and all the fan speed and stuff are to be controlled via this touch screen only. Then you have 3 modes for how the air blows, and that's all. Then you have your hazard buttons, and then you have a lock button. Then this particular car has ventilated seats as well, along with heated seats, but in Saudi Arabia the ventilated seats are the best. Then you have an eco driving display, which actually relaxes all the throttle and stuff so that you drive more economically, and you can turn it on and off by clicking that. Then that's your park assist, so that's how it can find the positions for your parking, and you can turn it on and off. Then you have your heated and ventilated seats for your passenger as well, so pretty nice. Then moving down, you have a 12-volt socket along with 2 USB-A ports and a headphone jack, and you have this small storage space, but no wireless charger, by the way. And this is how the key fob looks. So it's basically a Renault card, and you have your buttons to lock, unlock. Then this is your remote start, and this is to open your tailgate. Then here's your gear lever for your CVT transmission, and this is your electronic parking brake, and this is the controls for your cruise control, by the way. So this is how you set up your speed. Then here you have storage, so 2 cup holders and 2 smaller cup holders as well. And there is a vent, by the way. I hope I can just show it to you clearly. If you have some cold drinks over here, and the air condition is also on, it will direct some of the air through over here and cool your drinks. And if you have some hot drinks, you can turn on your heater and it will pass hot air to keep the drinks warm. Then we come to the center console. So you can see it's a sliding center console, and the leather up top is nice and soft. And then you do have a decent amount of storage inside, along with a small storage over here on this side as well. Then let's take a look at the glove box. So that's how your glove box looks. It's a pretty nice size, and you do have a good amount of storage inside. Then here you have your rear view mirror, and you do have a good view out at the back. I hope I can just show it to you clearly. Then you have your controls for your panoramic sunroof. Then you do have some controls for your lights, and at the same time, when you turn these lights on, they turn on the lights on the door as well. So that's how it turns on. And you do have a sunglasses holder which is lined with felt. Then you have a decent size of sun visor and with your lighting inside. And now let's take a look at the space inside. So this is how the space is in the Renault Koleos. For me, I am 6'4" or 195 centimeters, and I have this driving seat set to its lowest driving position. And I do have an okay amount of headroom. Since this cap is a bit high, it touches the roof. I checked it by removing the cap as well, and I was pretty comfortable in it, so no problems over there. And in terms of seat comfort, I am pretty comfortable. I do have a larger body stretcher, so despite that, I'm pretty comfortable in these seats. And one small detail I forgot to show you is the grab handles over here. They are covered with this leather as well, and they are nice and chunky. The build quality overall is pretty nice. I'll just try to show you the view outside from my point of view. So that's how the front looks. You do have chunky A pillars, but the view is okay around them. Behind as well, the blind spot is not too much. You can easily navigate around it. So overall, I think the visibility and the comfort and the interior quality at the front is really nice. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat. Okay, so here's the rear door trim, and the design is similar to the one in the front. You do have that same soft touch material over here with that black plastic with the silver inserts, and you do have your ambient lighting here as well. Then you do have the leather material on the armrest, which is nice and soft, with your window controls over there. You have your speakers over there, and you do have a decent amount of storage as well. Then these are how the rear seats look. You have the same leather material all around, and you can see they have even covered the side over here. Then here you have the latch to fold down the rear seats, but that same latch is also used for the reclining function of the seats as well. So pretty nice. And currently I just set it to its most reclining position. And now let's jump inside and take a look at the space over there. Okay, so I am currently in the back seats of the Renault Koleos, and I do not have a lot of space, and that is something I find very often in most of the mid-size SUVs, because since the driver's seat is set to my driving position, I'm 6'4" or 195 centimeters. I do not have any knee room behind myself. So you can see I cannot sit comfortably, but if someone shorter than me was sitting in the driver's seat, I would be fine. One more thing, with the cap I don't have a lot of headroom, and because this cap is a bit high, but I did check without the cap, and without the cap I had okay amount of headroom. I could sit comfortably, but just one piece of advice: people who are above 6 feet should take a seat inside the car and see how the space is for them. And now let's take a look at some of the features over here. So some features are, you have some net type seat back pockets, and you do have your own climate control at the back, or basically just AC vents, along with the 2 USB-As and a headphone jack with a 12-volt socket as well. You don't have a big hump in the floor, and the car is reasonably wide. If you're not a very large person like me, you can easily seat 3 people across in this rear seat, which I think would be possible. Then you do have an armrest as well, and you can see the cup holders are in the middle, and you do have some space around it. This is one thing I do not like. I would like the cup holders to be in this manner or hidden over here, just like Mercedes does, because most of the time your elbow will go inside the cup holders, and that will cause an issue, or that will cause some discomfort to you. So that is one thing I didn't like. Then you do have some lights here as well, and they are LED also. So that's all there is to show in the Renault Koleos, and now let's take it out for a drive. So guys, I took the Koleos out for a short drive. I'll be putting in the clips of me driving while I'm talking as well. So I'll let you know my driving impressions now. The car was really smooth on some of the broken roads that I drove on, and the steering was really light, which is a pretty good thing for driving in the city. And the noise levels in the cabin for like the wind noise and the tire noise was very minimum, so it was overall a pretty comfortable ride. One thing obviously is that it does lack a bit of power when compared to its rivals, but that's something you don't notice in the city. You might notice it on the highway, but one advantage of having this low power output is the fuel efficiency, and that was really good. So I can't give my exact impressions on the handling because the place where I was driving the car just had straight roads. There were no corners and stuff, so I can't tell you about that exactly. But from what little bit turns or small turns I could do around the place where I was driving, the basic cornering was very stable. I don't think you will have any problem even in the long flowing corners as well. But just keep in mind, it's not a sporty vehicle. It's a car that is meant to be driven in the city at a leisurely pace and not very fast. So do keep that in mind. And what do I personally think about it is that if you're looking for a nice family car which has good interior space, good features, and also good driving characteristics at a nice attractive price, I think you should consider the Koleos when compared to its rivals, because especially here in Saudi Arabia, the Koleos undercuts its rivals by quite a lot. So that is something you have to consider. And also the maintenance cost and the spare parts cost is pretty less as well when compared to its rivals. So you have peace of mind over there as well. So overall, I do recommend taking a look at the Koleos if you're in the market shopping for a mid-size SUV. And that's all I have to say. And I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.